This is Bed Bug Specialist Podcast, and today we are talking about mice and rodents. So, of course, this is a bed bug podcast, but we are a full service pest control company, so we deal with everything. But our bread and butter is definitely bed bugs, but we do all kinds of stuff. So, we're going to throw a little information out to you about rodents, mice, rats, whatever, just so you can kind of get the idea. We're getting a lot of phone calls and a lot of people questioning about what to do with mice in their home. Of course, when it gets colder, the mice want to try to find somewhere warm to stay. So we thought this would be appropriate for the podcast today. So there's no intro, no outro. My computer is kind of down that has all the software to do all my stuff, a lot of stuff, and just because I've been so busy, I haven't been able to fix it or replace it. Um, so yeah, we're just gonna do this kind of off my phone, and then off I have a backup computer that's not as equipped. So we'll get back to the normal next show definitely. But here, yeah, we're just gonna throw some information out there and just try to help out a little bit and try to keep it going. I know it's been a while since the last episode, but I'm definitely keeping it going. I'm committed to um, cranking at least one or two of these a month. So and so I hope it helps. Whether you're just a homeowner yourself or a technician, um, definitely hope it helps whoever. Again, our information. Um, just Google Bed Bug Specialist Podcast, uh, and we'll have information on the show notes on how to get in contact with us. So yeah, so here we go. Just a few things. This is going to be a short episode. Hopefully, all of them can be short. I kind of ramble on. I am learning to speak better, or trying to learn to speak better through an organization that I'm helping. So I hope it can be, I hope I can sound good or sound appropriate. But yeah, so here we go. So again, this show episode is about mice and rodents. People kind of get rats and mice mixed up. I'm just going off the top of my head. Of course, I have detailed information, and kind of systems we deal with on dealing with rodents. But I would just kind of go off the top of the head. So a few things to do, of course, when dealing with rodents is there's a few things. First, the thing you want to do is identify if it is a rodent, uh, if it is a mice or a mouse. I mean, if it is a rat or a mice. And how do you do that? Of course, if you didn't see it, you want to look at the poop. And usually that's the first sign that you um, have some critters in your home. So, of course, the poop for a mice is going to be the size of a grain of rice, and then a rat poop is going to be probably almost twice as big. So that can be a determining factor on if you have a mice or a mouse. Um, um, I almost never get to the point to where I can find them. Well, I take that back. There's a lot of times where we find them and I find them. But if you're at a house and, of course, in the middle of the day and you're treating for it, you're not going to see the rodent then. So you just kind of look at those identifiers and then you kind of go from there. So another thing is we kind of look at the home and see what you want to do is you want to try to eliminate as much food for them as possible. And you do that by sanitation. So you do that by making sure everything's clean, making sure you clean up behind appliances, making sure you um, clean up the counters. Make sure to use a cleaning agent with water that will dry up, like a bleach, something with alcohol in it or bleach. That will dry any residue. Um, I mean, it won't leave any residue. Um, um, and you want to take the trash out, or put the trash where they can't get to it. Have a sealed lid on the trash. That's a huge food source for them. Um, and just make sure things are clean up. They like to hide and hang out in cabinets, so make sure there's no loose food in cabinets. Try to seal anything grainy, anything that has a box. If you're able to put it like in the refrigerator, put it up to where they can't get to it. Uh, in a cabinet that's sealed pretty well, or put containers, like some people dump their cereal out in containers, stuff like that. That helps too. Their sugar, and just make sure it's in a sealed, something, maybe glass that's sealed, so the rodents can't get to it. The next, what you want to do is exclusion. Exclusion is meaning that you're finding where they're getting in and they're getting out at. And so, of course, when mice, they try to find a home, they try to find um, a way to get out of the elements, whether usually it's cold or too rainy. They will try to find your home. And of course, the usual place is the garage. They come through the garage, maybe a back door, a back area, um, an area where not a lot of traffic's been or goes, and also a place where, of course, like if you had a hole or a gap somewhere in your house, it's going to be in the back of the house, an area where you're not seeing it every day to fix it. So they're usually coming in, through an edge, a loose garage, a panel, somewhere like that. And so what you want to do is you want to go around your house on the outside and look, where do you think that rodents could get in? They can also jump really high, so you want to look a couple feet up to what they, to check to see if they, any of those areas they're able to get in. You're going to look for holes, you're going to look for gaps, you're going to look for just areas where it's easy to access. If you have a loose, like one, for instance, a couple weeks ago, I went to I treated a house, and they didn't have a dryer. And the vent for where the dryer was just open. I'm like, well, that's exactly where they got in, right there. I mean, it was perfect. It was big. So, and this customer, I think they definitely had rats because the poop was very big. So yeah, just check for different things like that. Of course, you want to seal those up. You can use, there's different materials you can buy, like at Home Depot or Lowe's, to seal different cracks and holes. Sometimes it just takes some caulk, or some of the foam that you can put around piping, stuff like that. Definitely want to do all that on the outside. You want to go in the inside and do the same as well. Look under your cabinets, look from the garage, usually the washroom or the garage, if there's holes from there into the house, gaps. If you have doors or windows you leave open from those areas, you want to keep those closed and make sure they have a tight seal around them. I want to say rats themselves, they only need about a size of a quarter to get through your house. So that's enough space for them to squeeze their body through. To get from one room to the other, or at least into your house. So definitely you want to do that. And so the last thing, of course, is the control part, so the killing part. So we try to use traps as much as possible, because when you use bait, the options are bait or traps.